Hello and welcome to Asia News Today. Now, we've dispensed with the coat today and the auto cue in the studio, and we're out and about, this time in Pattaya in Thailand, reporting for our Good Morning Thailand program, but here on assignment. So dispensing with some of the usual formalities, but the news is just the same. Please like the video if you enjoy the news, and please subscribe to the channel. A lot to get through today, including a new president in South Korea. Let's get started. South Korea has a new president today after a nail-biting and often nasty campaign. Conservative Yoon Suk-yeol will be South Korea's new president after Lee Jae-myung from the ruling Democratic Party conceded defeat last night. The opposition leader won 48.56% of the ballot, ahead of Lee's 47.83%. Very close. Incumbent President Moon Jae-in was not permitted to run for a second term, as South Korea's presidency is a single term of 5 years. The unsuccessful candidate Lee has blamed himself for the defeat, saying, "I would like to express my apologies to the many citizens of the country who have left their daily lives behind and have been with us. Thank you for your passionate devotion." The new president, Yoon, is a newcomer to politics, having spent the last 27 years of his career as a prosecutor, being behind many of the high-profile investigations into corruption scandals that have plagued the President Moon's aides and a slew of other corruption scandals in the past. His victory puts Korean governance back in conservative hands. As Hong Kong keeps reporting tens of thousands of new COVID infections every day, the city's large population of unvaccinated elderly residents has resulted in the highest official death rate per capita of any jurisdiction in the world during the pandemic. Less than 30% of Hong Kong residents over 80 have been double vaccinated, even though vaccines have been freely available for more than a year. Officials blame widespread vaccine hesitancy among the elderly. Of 2,365 COVID-related deaths in Hong Kong's fifth wave, mostly fueled by the Omicron variant, 87% have been aged 60 or above, and about 90% weren't fully vaccinated. Though Hong Kong, much like South Korea, was able to keep COVID at bay over the past 2 years, the highly transmissible Omicron strain was able to break through some of the world's toughest border restrictions. The current surge of infections continues to overwhelm Hong Kong's healthcare system, with almost no hospital beds available now, intensive care facilities full, and mortuaries pushed to their limit. Patients are now routinely turned away from hospitals, while the higher-risk elderly have, in many cases, been left waiting outside hospitals. The Japanese government has sent a transport aircraft to Poland to provide bulletproof vests, helmets and cold weather clothing, along with other defence equipment to Ukraine. The provision of defence equipment was officially approved by Japan's National Security Council. Japan's foreign minister and the Ukrainian ambassador to Japan signed related documents at the Foreign Ministry building yesterday as the plane load of equipment headed off to Poland and then eventually Ukraine.
Join the conversation and have your voice heard. Discuss the issues, share information, and get information. Thaiger Talk is where you keep in touch with everything Thailand. Go to thethaiger.com/talk.
Indonesia's Mount Merapi volcano has been spewing avalanches of hot ash cloud into the sky overnight that's so far forced about 250 residents to flee, leaving the grey ash to blanket nearby villages and towns. No casualties have been reported at this stage. The volcano on Indonesia's most densely populated island of Java has erupted at least 7 times just before and after midnight, spewing clouds of hot ash, rocks, lava and gas. The rumbling sound could be heard several kilometres away. 253 people were evacuated to temporary shelters in and around Yogyakarta because of the dangers on Merapi. Residents living on the mountain's slopes have been advised to stay at least 7 kilometres away from the crater and keep abreast of the latest warnings about eruptions. Java's latest major eruption was in December when Mount Semeru, the highest volcano on Java Island, erupted, leaving 46 people dead and 36 missing as villagers were buried under layers of ash. In the Philippines' largest anti-narcotics raid this year, authorities have seized 160 kilograms of methamphetamine and arrested a Chinese drug kingpin. The sting was staged at a warehouse in Valenzuela City in Manila and was part of the Filipino government's latest crackdown on illegal drugs. Over the past 10 days, the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency have conducted 7 operations, arrested 11 suspects and confiscated 231 kilograms of methamphetamine valued around $30 million US. The latest crackdown on illegal drugs comes as outgoing President Rodrigo Duterte, who has spearheaded a controversial and deadly war on drugs since 2016, will finish his term as president in 3 months. Malaysia is now set to reopen its borders to international travellers from April the 1st after nearly 2 years. Under the new entry rules, fully vaccinated passengers won't have to quarantine, provided they take a PCR test no less than 2 days before departure and then an ATK test within 24 hours of arriving in Malaysia. International travellers will be required to complete a pre-departure form but won't have to obtain a My Travel Pass permit anymore. Once the new arrival procedures are in place from April the 1st, airlines are looking to reintroduce regular flights back to Malaysia. Malaysia is also setting up vaccinated travel lanes with Singapore, Cambodia and Thailand to help bypass some of the travel red tape. Well, that's some of our main stories from around Asia over the past 24 hours. We do this 5 days a week, no matter where we are in the world. So because it's YouTube, please like the video, well, if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. That helps the YouTube gods and the algorithms. Also, we've got merchandise at the Thaiger. Sorry to keep on flogging it, but if you go to thethaiger.com, where you can catch up with a lot of the latest news from around Southeast Asia, there's also the thaiger.com/shop, and you can buy some of the merchandise there. But from Pattaya here in Thailand, hope you have a fantastic day. We look forward to being with you with another Asia News Today tomorrow.